Hello amigos, this is David Casillas with Raices Vivas, and today we are with Yara Ortiz with the Yara Garden, and we're here to talk about her experience in the Victory Gardens initiative that we did here in San Antonio. So tell us about it, Yara. How you
All
feel?
right, I'm great. This is exciting. Today it's extra muggy, but usually we're out here enjoying ourselves. And one of the things I really want to talk about are the benefits of gardening and being an honoree for the Victory Garden Initiative. We've been able to spend even more time outside, seeing all of our green come through. And then, as you can see, the kids in the background and the Mima, we're all having a really great time just spending extra time out here. And so the health benefits of vitamin D, and then seeing from the right now we're just seeing some blueberries and just seeing the harvest come through. It's just been really exciting.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's it seems that not only the the advantages or the benefits for the garden is just to consume the food. It's also like health wise and also like well-being.
Yes.
That's amazing. Is there any other community member or neighbors that have been interested and they join you?
So because we're at a corner property, we have a lot of walkers, and so they've just seen the progression of the garden come into being, and so naturally that started more conversation. It used to be just a hello, and then every day it would be turned into a more of a conversation, and I invited a few of my neighbors to come and garden with me, and so they weren't here so much as the harvest, but for the community. And that was just really exciting to experience that. And I'll have to share those pictures with you. But they've been able to, meet the children in a different capacity rather than just, hi, what's your name? Instead of it's, how's your garden doing? And so the conversations are deeper, and it's a mutual beneficiary experience because they're able to see the kids grow, the garden grow, and they know that they've been part of it too.
That's amazing. That's so good to hear. So something else that we want to talk, this is just like a conversation that we want to pick your brain, is a lot of people out there that wants to, start or continue gardening, they think that they need this like resources. They need this like money and they feel limited. Do you think, and that's the only thing that we did, we were able to make some resources available, but do you think for some people out there that should they keep waiting for the resources or just like dive into it?
You have to dive into it, but being an honoree with a 5,000, I think estimated 5,000, but I think that you got some really competitive pricing to get it going, because I think that I just had so much potential with this huge property, but I didn't, this idea of like, oh, we'll try a little bit of an herb garden. But mostly it came out down to a lot of sweat equity too. Like I want to say, like, I don't know what, I mean, I don't know the exact amount, but we've spent countless hours out here. We wake up with it and then we put it to bed. It's just like, it's a daily like checking in, seeing how it's doing, and the kids know like, oh, we need to go out there, we need to check on it. In the morning we say good morning to it, and then we say good night to it. Like, I mean, it's definitely something, if you're interested in doing that as a beginning gardener, and you want to wake up to something beautiful, and you want to go to bed having seen something beautiful, and knowing that your hands did it. But in this case, like, money started the project, but to continue to see it do well, it's been sweat equity.
But you already had that thought. So
yeah, we were thinking about it.
So it was more like, okay, the potential is there, the going for it is there. Then we literally just came in to like push you guys because you're doing all the work, and that's the goal.
And but a lot of the knowledge that you're able to come in and talk to me about it. You're like, oh, and we can share recipes, but just telling me like, oh, have you considered doing this kind of trellis, or that experience that you're bringing in, and then Gardopia as a partner, that information has been invaluable. Like, that's the other. I don't know the price of that because those are life experiences.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. I like to call it empiric knowledge, and it's shared.
Yes.
And it's hard to put a price to it because the common goal is to empower the community. So how we price that, it's hard. but the outcome is great.
Yeah.
So because if we share all of this, knowledge and experiences, then that means that we're only growing, and you grow with your garden, you grow with your community, and the outcome is just much better for everyone. That's great. So something else that it circles in our mind is, in the scenario of now you have in your garden, not scenario, in a reality that now you're having your garden, and you're free to do whatever you want with it. Would you say that you want to keep growing, or you want to kind of empower, or hold on, let me rephrase that. Like, you feel that you want to share that to others, that they can do the same?
I think you can replicate this.
Okay.
I think that this is definitely something that every neighborhood needs. And if you could get like every community, like corner property that has a visible area, so people, it's just a natural opening into conversation. And then I think that our community, last night we just went to our neighborhood association meeting, and everybody said, "Wait, aren't you the gardener?" I mean, like I was like, "I am." It was, and they're like, "Oh, we've loved seeing it happen." And then, you get to know other people because we own dogs, and you get to know people, but because y'all have a mutual interest. And so, before there used to just yesterday morning, I was out extra early before the sun hit, and a guy was on his phone, and he's like, "Hold on," and I heard him say, "He was like, I've been watching your garden. It looks great," and that he took the time to just like. And this is the same guy that I've seen every single day when I let out my dogs. And it's always been hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Just like, but that he was watching it happen. Yeah. And so I'm not the only one who has eyes on it. So I'm even more motivated to keep it going because they're watching it. And I have just those, like, I get that praise that helps motivate, but it's just kind of like, oh, now I have to, really like, I want to be able to share a harvest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think lastly will be like just kind of sharing your thoughts of what would you say to someone that is willing to start a garden, to someone that is interested to start a garden. What will be your recommendations that you have learned so far or you already knew?
I think that there's a lot of common knowledge out there, and you have to do the research as far as, and talk to your family members about making this it's going to be a family project, as far as, being able to just change your pattern, your daily pattern, the way you're living, where I have to get out to the garden. We all have to get out to the garden, and protecting that time as family time, and making it more accessible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That has so much impact because we thought that we were going to have an impact with some projects like this, but to hear that it's actually bringing this or reinforcing and making a stronger family membrane, and then not only your core family, but also like your community family, and then like your digital family and social media, like it's just making this membrane stronger, So that's beautiful to hear, and it all starts right here in your garden.
Well, I mean, your money was like seed money. Like, it was to start this huge project and see it grow into what it is. And I've already, I didn't feel as at peace as I do now, having spent additional time. As a family, we were already committed to 1,000 hours outside, and there's only so many places you can pack up the car and go somewhere and do something outside. This is step outside, let's go into the garden. Mommy's going to be doing this. And so we've been able to plant, and my husband sits out here watching the kids while I get my some seeds in, and then they wander over, they do a little bit of planting, they go and hang out with daddy, they do a little bit more planting, they see their favorite part is watering, so they keep coming in to do different things, or what are you planting now, or oh, look at this, and just seeing like all, and it's nature has come back, like seeing everything, like the pollinators are here, and then just seeing that relationship build, and they have an appreciation for nature, but seeing it start like this has just been really exciting. So now when we go into the grocery store, it's, oh, we have that growing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
exciting.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, wow, that thank you for sharing. And then lastly, another thing is that I just popped in my head. You have a background of education. What do you see processes like this being implemented in not only in the schools, but like also in you know, like after school programs or some things like that we can start, you know, including the younger generation, the kids.
Right.
What would be your thoughts about something like that?
Well, this is huge. There's so many sciences incorporated in nature-based study, and you see that. I've been able to turn around, you know, I do the ranch school at the rescue ranch. And so they have little gardens that we've started there. And I was able to turn around knowledge that both you and Stephen gave me, and then incorporated that into a lesson by some hard learned lessons, you know, by making sure that the tomatoes had really deep roots. So, you know, so if we're doing raised row planting, what does that mean? They have to go horizontally, and just talking about how the math is incorporated there, the sciences, and they're able to harvest too already. And that's the other piece too, because that's at a ranch. We were able to get some really fresh compost, and to see how that fresh compost has really helped those tiny gardens compared to some other commercialized compost. I was like, oh my goodness, you know, like it's not like I want to be carrying compost home in like, you know, our minivan, but you know, like it gives me ideas, like, you know, there's just so much knowledge to turn back right around to the children. You're learning right alongside them, and that's beautiful, and the observations and everything just slows down. And that's huge, because you know, they say that the days are long but the years are short, and I've enjoyed the longer days with them, enjoying our garden together.
Goodness.
Yeah,
that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. And then is there anything else that you want to share with us?
Yes, thank you for choosing us. I mean, there was potential. I mean, it's a huge blessing, and to have this opportunity to partner with you. But I mean, this is you. I'm gonna start crying.
No,
I mean,
you're welcome. You deserve it. You make it happen.
This is just it's huge. It's a big deal.
You deserve it. You deserve it, Jen. All of this situation happened is for a reason, and to see this, you know, flourishing, and also the impact on the kiddos, and just huge to go to the store and say, hey, I recognize that plant. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there's over 30-year-old people that doesn't even recognize.
Right, and they and that's definitely expanded their palates, right? So a bagged radish doesn't look nearly as appealing as something that they pulled out of with their own hands. You know, like it's, you know, a bagged carrot, and they're like, oh, is that what this is going to be? You know, even looking at the seed collection is huge for them. You know, their choices when we go to Rainbow Gardens or anywhere, and then they're starting to be more observant about food that we're eating in the house. And they're saying, oh, wait, is this seed going to be something we can plant? And that's also really sweet too. I went over to visit my aunt and uncle, and he said, hey, do you need a few more seeds? I found these for you. You know, It was just like, oh, that was so thoughtful of you. That's what Mother's Day gifts were. I didn't want a bouquet. I wanted more seedlings and seeds. You know, like I was like, I don't need the fresh bouquet. Yeah. I want more things for the garden. And so that's just really been nice. And then they call certain, like the marigolds and the coxcomb that we have growing in there. And we talk about companion planting, how they're helping each other. And, you know, and I'm able to use that as a life lesson for them too. Like, we need to help each other. Are you going to be a marigold today? God. I mean, it's just really beautiful, because now they know exactly what it is.
That's
right?
So amazing that you're teaching that to your kids. That's wonderful. Wow. Well, I think there's nothing else to say. That thank you so much for receiving us in your home and your garden with your family. We are very happy that you're a part of this initiative, and you're going to be the OG eventually. You know, like,
yeah, I'd like to see this grow.
Hopefully we can, you know, grow more, and then grow more gardens in San Antonio and other parts of the country. And I think this is going to be example for others.
I think so, and we're open to it. And the kids are able to turn around their knowledge because they're taking part in the ranch school, and they're going to say, oh, like this, and they were able to help other children because it's a class of 14, so they were like this. And so, you know, just expanding that knowledge in the same way that both you and Stephen have been in here helping me learn what I'm doing. And then special shout out to Andrew, where because I'm at a corner property, he is able to access it, and he's able to say, oh, I went by and I fixed those irrigation hoses. I wanted to make sure that they were straight for you. And I said, oh yeah, I said, I wasn't sure. He's like, yeah, you want to keep it. Like, but the rationale behind some of why you do it the way you do it is just huge. And
so cool.
we've been able to do this together. It's so nice. I really enjoyed it. My husband, when he leaves for work, he was like, man, he was like, because I've shared with him about some of the other honorees, I said, they have a lot of experience. Their gardens are really thriving. He said, but think about all the other benefits you're getting too. He said, we're just starting. He said, so they're already in a celebratory phase. He said, but we're just starting, and think about all the things that we're able to celebrate, you know. And most of it, he's like, look what our kids are able to do. And he leaves for work in the morning. He says, it's so nice to like say, you know, bye garden, you know, like, you know, he sees it like when the mushrooms came in after the rains and everything, and then I was like, what is this? We have a growth. I'm like, wait a minute, like, and you were able to look into mycology and see that they're, you know, it's a sign of healthy soil.
Absolutely.
That was huge. I mean, you know, you only know so much about fungi and decomposers in books, but when you see what it's actually doing, that's huge.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is.
So I think this is great. Great experience, and then just try to go from there. But well, Yara, thank you so much. Yara Ortiz, amigos. Then what is your handling on Instagram?
The Ortiz Garden.
The Ortiz Garden. So follow them, follow us, and let's keep growing.
Thank you.